Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show will begin in 5 minutes. Please take your seats. Ladies and Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show will begin in 1 minute. Please take your seats.
Live from Loyola University New Orleans, we are here in the J. Michael Early Broadcast Studio following a developing story. Hello, I'm Lily Cummings.
And I'm Tess Rowland. Let's go straight to Ann Milling for an important update on the Faith in the Future campaign.
Started quietly in 2011, went public with the campaign in 2014 in a wonderful kickoff meeting in our Dana Center. And now we gather today at this new J. Michael Early Studio, one of the many dramatic impacts of your generosity. Before I introduce our campaign co-workers who are indeed responsible for this success, I want to take just a minute now and tell you about the importance of the Jesuits and their faith in the city of New Orleans.
I'm very sorry. We had a little wireless mic there.
Good afternoon. I'm Ann Milling, along with Russell Honoré and the Reverend James C. Carter. I've had the pleasure to serve as honorary co-chair of this exciting campaign, Faith in the Future. We are here to celebrate success. Today is the culmination of a campaign that ended in victory several weeks ago. We started quietly in 2011, went public with the campaign in 2014 at a wonderful event at our Dana Center here on the campus. And now we gather today in this new J. Michael Early Studio, one of the many dramatic impacts of your generosity. Before I introduce our campaign chairs, who are really the ones who deserve so much credit, I want to take just for a minute or two and discuss the importance of the Jesuits and their faith in the city of New Orleans. St. Paul wrote that faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Think about what Loyola and its people have meant to our city and region. Without Loyola's creativity in the 1920s, we would not have WWL radio. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, the Jesuits had faith to acquire a school of music. In the 1960s, the Jesuits put a Loyola graduate, my dear friend, Mike Early, in charge of their television station, WWL. Starting with no experience in broadcast television, Mr. Early took the station to national leadership among CBS affiliates, and I might add, among all television stations across our country. In the 1980s, when the New Orleans economy was struggling with the oil bust, our Father Carter led the effort to build the Communications Music Center complex where we are today. And then in 2009, while our country was still coming out of the Great Recession, Father Kevin Wiles began planning for the Faith in the Future campaign. And you can imagine at that time, many people were doubtful and were questioning whether this could be successful. Think about the tens of thousands of Loyola graduates whose education and careers exist because the Jesuits of Loyola, joined by their late partners, had faith in the promise of our students in this region. Loyola's people have long seen things and felt hope in the city of New Orleans when others did not. That's what St. Paul wrote about. And look at the result. Today, we see a thriving university with students from all over our nation and around the world. They're living in wonderful and working in wonderful, beautiful facilities with the latest technology. To tell you more about these many accomplishments and where we've come, thanks to this extraordinary campaign, it's indeed a pleasure to introduce our co-chairs, two people who did the work, who led the campaign to this success, Derby Gisfair and Anne Gauthier.
Thank you, Ann. I'm a proud graduate of Loyola University, class of 1973, which is sooner. And it's been an honor to serve on the campaign chair, and a little bit of hard work as well. I also serve on the Board of Trustees, along with my fellow co-chair, Anne Gauthier.
Thanks, Derby. I'm the proud mother of two Loyola graduates, who are both here today. Working on this campaign has been one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done as a volunteer. I too serve on the Board of Trustees.
President Tetlow, Father Carter, Father Wiles, Loyola students, alumni, faculty, staff, trustees, and friends. In 2014, we stood before you and announced the public launch of this campaign. At that time, not even halfway toward the goal. Today, we're proud to report to you all that Faith in the Future has exceeded its goal, finishing at $101 million raised.
Now we want to take advantage of this beautiful new facility here, show you a film about what the campaign means to Loyola, its students, its faculty, the city, and all of the region.
The Faith in the Future campaign is not just about what happens on this campus. It's about changing lives and the impact that Loyola education has far beyond St. Charles Avenue. This campaign is about renewing this great Jesuit tradition. It's about an enterprising campus linked to New Orleans and the world. It's about producing graduates who are ready for life.
When Loyola launched the Faith in the Future campaign in 2014, the enthusiasm was palpable. It spread throughout the campus and into the larger Loyola community, from New Orleans to Miami, to New York City to Panama, Asia, Europe, Africa, and back home again. Who knew what we'd achieve with this campaign? 19,353 of you donated to the campaign, and we clocked more than 20,000 volunteer hours. That's 2,500 days. You created 114 new endowments, ranging in the amount from $25,000 to $10.5 million, the largest ever in the history of Loyola. In fact, there were more million-dollar gifts in the past 8 years than Loyola's first 100 years. We all gave what we could to ensure the success of this campaign. We hit the goal of $100 million. But what does a successful campaign actually look like? $22 million to improve facilities, including the sports complex and the J. Michael Early Multimedia Center. Over $6 million in Monroe Hall alone, including a renovated auditorium and costume and makeup studios. This campaign has been about more than just bricks and mortar, though. It gave us renewed confidence and energy. It is a launching pad for the future, creating opportunity, providing inspiration, and fulfilling dreams. Together, we all had faith in the future. And with the success of this campaign, the future is bright for our community, our city, and our world. This is the future. Outstanding individuals coming together with and for others to achieve great things.
The future is Loyola University New Orleans.
This campaign's helped Loyola to set a new direction and given us strength as we look ahead. We have beautiful new facilities, including Monroe Hall, Pan American Life Student Success Center, and a great new look for Wolfpack Sports Complex, and of course, this studio. We've also grown Loyola's endowment with over $27 million in new gifts.
Some of the largest gifts in Loyola history are funding the Center for Entrepreneurship and Community Development in the College of Business, as well as the Law Advocacy Center. New scholarship gifts, including Maydell Bros' extraordinary $10 million gift, mean that Loyola is more affordable for students. Scholarships also put the university in a better position to compete for great students. For all of this, we say to all of you, thank you.
We're grateful to the thousands of donors who've responded to the calls, emails, and knocks on the door. Thank you to our fellow trustees who stepped up in a tremendous way, including Loyola's most recent Loyola Loyal Day. Thank you to Loyola's faculty and staff who gave generously, even during the tough years when we were already working so hard and not seeing any increases. Your sacrifices for the good of Loyola students are inspiring, and we all see the results daily.
And now we turn the podium over to President Tanya Tetlow, who will tell us where we go from here.
For a century, Loyola has had countless moments of glory, from the leather helmet football days of my grandfather to the technicolor talent of our student reporters here today. Loyola has mattered to this community, to this city, to this country. There have been 17 Loyola presidents during these last 100 years, and each of us has known that we are the temporary caretakers of a beloved institution, moving it forward a few more years into its next century. I want to thank Father Kevin Wilds, whose campaign and whose accomplishment this has been, and Father Jim Carter, on whose shoulders we both have stood. Thank you to all who serve or have served on the Board of Trustees, particularly to our chair, Dennis Cuneo, and past chairs during the campaign, Bobby Savoie, Kevin Foreman, John Finan, and Paul Pastrak. All of our trustees have given unimaginable amounts of time as well as treasure. And a special thank you to board member Henry Munoz, who has donated his creative genius through a campus master plan and so much more. Thank you to the Alumni Board and its chair, Lee Thorpe. Their willingness to shake the tree on Loyola Loyal Day smashed all of our records by a factor of 10. And most of all, thank you to our campaign co-chairs, Derby Gisclair and Gauthier and Milling, General Honore, and Father Carter. I'm pretty sure St. Peter will mention this specifically when he welcomes you. To all of our donors, from the great Maydell Brode, who worked here for more than 40 years and left Loyola students $10 million in scholarships, to every one of you who gave $5 or $5 million. You tell me constantly how much Loyola meant to you or to your child, how much Loyola means to this community and to Catholic education, how eager you are to invest in us and to pay forward the opportunity that you received here. I truly wish I could stand here today and thank each of you individually, but we would literally be here all day, and that's not what motivates you. You have been generous in order to make Loyola ever better, ever stronger. And I am proud to tell you that Loyola has become everything you could hope for. I really think at this particular moment in our nation's history, that what we need most is a place that draws together young people from all over the country and the world. From every creed and color, every race and religion, from backgrounds rural and urban, rich and poor. It would be a place that knits that glorious diversity together into a community where students listen to each other with open hearts. It would be a place that teaches students the wisdom and perspectives of many subjects and disciplines so that they can solve the toughest of problems. It would be a place that roots students in faith and then demands that they go out and change the world. It would be a place full of joy and of community. It would be Loyola. And not just Loyola, but Loyola New Orleans, because we also embody the spirit of this 300-year-old lovely lyrical city. New Orleans steeps Loyola in joyful creativity. We flourish here in the most authentic of cities, one that pushes you to find out who you are, your unique contribution to the world, not just anyone else's idea of who you should be. And if New Orleans asks only that you be yourself, then Loyola New Orleans wants you to be the very best version of yourself. To practice over and over, to learn more knowledge, more context, more tools, to use our Jesuit term, magis. You, all of you, have made that mission manifest. You have invested in our campus and given our students the physical classrooms and the world-class technology that they deserve and that they need to solve the toughest of problems. You have made it possible for them to learn by doing in this Mike Early Broadcast News Studio, in the Stuart Smith Law Clinic building, and the spectacular science labs in Monroe Hall. You have made it possible for us to invest in them in the Pan American Life Success Center. And you have invested in the blazing talent of our faculty, who include, to describe just a few, one of the most famous violinists in the world, a scientist after whom they've just named a new species of snake in the Galapagos Islands, and a history professor who won a James Beard Prize for his writing about Italian New Orleans. You've supported their research and their passionate devotion to teaching and scholarship. Most of all, you've invested in our students. I've met so many successful alumni from around the country, many of whom were the first in their family to go to college. And they tell me how much Loyola meant to them, how it gave them not just knowledge, but confidence in themselves, how it made them ready to succeed and also ready to spend their lives serving others, and how excited these alumni are to pay that opportunity forward to the Loyola students of today. All of this is our mission, from the Benson Jesuit Center to the opportunities you cast ever more widely. All of it lives out our Catholic values. And so today you can walk out on this campus and see the results. A stunning campus of Gothic architecture also humming with modern technology. A faculty and staff devoted to transforming the lives of our students. And, as we firmly believe here, the collection of the greatest students in human history. Thank you for everything you have done for Loyola. 1,000 times thank you. So now let's go celebrate.
bring him to administration. From something that was seminar, experience, the connection with meeting, two, audience, expecting too much. We need to train in administrating in the academic way. Ashley Francis is very competent. She's amazing. And she's provided the business perspective. She's dealing with the art. She's dealing with money. But we still have a long way to go to make the academic component departments and even that. I'm struggling online because administrating online is a happy or a third job. You have to pay attention to other things.
Sure.
And I've been thinking, I can do what's going on at other universities? What else we can bring to this vast stronger in the area where we are now, if we are going to see because online hiring trends are the future of hiring. And I think Matthew could be the right person if he's interested because he knows how much.
Right. Well, I'm trying to keep him interested. I was encouraged when he came here for his visit and in subsequent conversations. Even encouraged when I had a brief conversation with the provincial about it. So, I mean, his talents, are multiple. And that's what I had an informal conversation with Roger just to say, hey, I hope we can work something out in your department. I don't want him to be in a toxic situation. I don't want to bring him into a place that he's going to be unhappy.
Exactly. Or between you and me, where he's going to experience some kind of hostility.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
For whatever reason. I don't know what
Although it's mind-boggling to me that they don't see, one, you're not getting anybody else anytime soon. There's nothing coming up for you. Here is a frigging, Rhodes Scholar. He could do practically anything if you cultivate him and work with him and help him. He could be amazing. And so I find it so short-sighted. It's incredible.
It is. But you have to very easily. And there's something perhaps Maria will take a different approach, but this is also something Margaret has this position. Who's going to impose? If we impose someone into this group, we're going to create a problem.
Yes.
The university is going to do this, and also the new person.
Right.
That's going to be the most important. So that's what I'm thinking. That perhaps a more neutral topic program. But we need to talk about Matthew, what would you like to do? What do you want to do? Because I mean, about law and faith.
As long as he has a home, then he can teach in honors, and honors can bring in their own faculty. They can create their own courses. They're not dependent on the department. And first year seminar. And did he say anything about philosophy?
He didn't mention philosophy. He didn't mention
because political philosophy is one of his things.
Could be involved there. From that point on, that's enough flexibility, and we have enough flexibility to accommodate. Well, I can't introduce you. I don't know, I think your college. But is that
mean, I certainly am also thinking about him, and Provincial is thinking about him, and Borough Personalis and all that. So my job, really, I feel, is doing everything I can to facilitate things between him and the university, because there's the university team. Justin is, wonderful at all of this internally. But I am communicating with Matthew just in terms of encouragement, just keeping him, like, hey, we're thinking of you, we're working on this, we're doing that.
Good afternoon, my name is Sky Ray, and I am a journalism senior here at Loyola University New Orleans. I'm joined here today by Mike Skian. He is a board of trustee here at Loyola University. Thank you so much for coming today.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure.
So after watching the video and seeing everything with the victory of the Faith in the Future campaign, how do you feel today?
I'm honored, number one, to have been asked to participate in this, but I found out at our last trustees meeting that my wife and I were two of the initial contributors to it. It makes me very proud because seeing where we started at Loyola way back when in 1973 when I came, where it is now is worlds apart and just eons better than it ever could have been imagined.
Okay, and so throughout this campaign, what were some things that you really wanted to focus on that you've seen?
Well, technology is the first thing, because I'm in a technology-based industry. My company does technical production around the country, and one of the things that I knew was needed here was to upgrade the technology in the studio, that the students would be learning the same things that they would be using in the field. So it was paramount for us to really emphasize that and to create enough funds to make that happen.
And with this new technology, how do you feel, state of the art?
It's fantastic. I got a preview of this when I was here for the last trustees meeting in October, and it's extremely impressive. And even the 5 years since we started this effort, this place is turned over more than 100%.
And as someone who has been very invested in the Loyola community for several years, how do you feel about the future of Loyola?
It's unlimited. It's unlimited. You've got in Tanya Tetlow, you've got a very dynamic, forward-thinking president. You've got someone who's taken the bull by the horns and surrounded herself with some of the best minds in terms of advancement in finance and certainly in the academics. I see nothing but good things in the future.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for everything
You're
you've
very
done
welcome.
here at Loyola. Back to you all. Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Sky Ray and I'm a senior journalism major here at Loyola University New Orleans. I'm joined here today by John Michael Early III, who is the grandson of Michael Early, who the studio is dedicated after.
That's right.
So tell me, what does today mean to you?
It's very special for our family. We have a number of us here today, and we've been very excited over the last years since this was announced to finally be here and see it, and here we are standing in the flesh, and we love it. We're blown away. It's a huge honor.
What's your favorite aspect of being
This desk right here, because this is official. I got to work at Channel 4, not when my grandfather was there, but a little bit after that in high school and in college. And this feels like a smaller version of something you would see in a national studio.
So your grandfather was a pioneer in journalism. First to do 24-hour news, ran Channel 4, which is named Worldwide Loyola. Given so much back to Loyola, how do y'all feel about Loyola in the community? What's that relationship with your family?
It's, it started the roots with the Jesuits. That's where he started at high school, of course, and then came to school here, and then continued his education in law school here, and then continued to work for the Jesuits, and then one more step after that at the station. So for us, it's been an extension of our family. And this is a very real aspect of it, because after he passed, we were afraid maybe we would lose some of that connection. But this has really brought us back to the campus, and very excited for the years to come.
So if your grandfather were here today, what do you think? How would he feel?
I think he would say, it's good. But that would mean, like, I'm thrilled right now. This couldn't be any better. He was a man of very few words, soft-spoken with a small smile, but I think he was more of a one-on-one kind of person. So the people who would be behind this, I think he's already been in touch with them and let them know how he feels about it. And I think he's excited to see the legacy carry on a bit, that legacy of excellence that started here at Loyola, and that he was able to continue at Channel 4.
Okay. Yeah. Well, here at Loyola, we thank you and your family so much for everything that you have contributed, and thank you so much for joining me here today.
Absolutely, and we would like to send a thanks to everyone who's worked so hard on this campaign at Loyola, top to bottom. I know there's been a lot of students involved, alums, and also staff and employees. So for us, it's very humbling and a very proud day for us. Thank you, Sky.
Thank you.
All right.
Back to you all. Good afternoon. My name is Sky Ray. I am a journalism senior here at Loyola University New Orleans, and I am here joined by WWL TV anchor Eric Paulson. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
This new studio is beautiful.
It's beautiful. What's your favorite part?
The name, I think, the J. Michael Early Studio, because I worked for Mr. Early for years at Channel 4, and he was just such a giant in the broadcasting industry, and he just took me under his wing for so long. It was just great.
So tell me a little bit more about your history with John Michael Early. I know working at Channel 4, and he was the general manager there.
Well, and the thing that I liked about Michael Early is he would give people enough rope to either prove themselves or hang themselves. He didn't meddle. He let you show what you could do, and that's what I liked about Mike Early. The other thing is, I think about being here at Loyola. I used to work for Loyola. Loyola used to own our station, and we've been through many changes. The best years, though, in my opinion, at Channel 4 were the days that Loyola University owned Channel 4.
Right there at Marquette, not a couple of steps away. Marquette Hall is where WWL Radio started and everything.
Yeah, there's a long history with Loyola, and it is beautiful to see how many things have changed at the university, and it's just wonderful to be here, and just beautiful to look around the studio. In fact, my old boss, Joe Duke, is. Do you run the department, Joe?
No.
Joe always tells me he runs the department, but now he's admitting on camera he doesn't.
He's a great professor. He's one of my professors. Taught me communication writing, and we've learned so much things even right here in the studio.
Well, Joe taught me a lot in the business. I mean, he really has. He was a very good news director, and he started out as a cameraman. Then he climbed the ranks, and then went on to CBS. I mean, Joe's done a lot in his career.
So clearly you have had lots of ties here at Loyola. After watching today's video with the Faith in the Future campaign and just doing a quick walk around just one floor, tell me how you feel about the changes and everything that's been going on.
Well, this is all new from many years ago. Ironically, my wife went to Loyola, graduated from this department, and so it just kind of comes full circle for me.
And you said that J. Michael Early was your mentor, and tell me.
Mentor, hero, life coach, just everything.
So what's some advice do you think he would give to students today?
I think what Tanya said, follow your dreams, and that's kind of the most important thing. When I was in college, and when most kids are in college, you're very naive about the world and what's going on. When you start working at a regular job, it's different. You take the things you learn from school, but it is such a different world when you get out there. But Loyola prepares a lot of people. We have had so many people come through our station that have been through this program here at Loyola and have done so well, and you see that education is just so important.
It is, yes it is. So thank you so much for joining us today,
Thank you
Eric.
very much.
It was nice meeting you. Back to you all.